All right. Welcome to another Thursday night PBS training by yours truly. It is Thursday, the 10th of February, I believe. Let me just check and make sure that's right. Yep, that's right. And I am going to go over a few things tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little short video, and that is going to be of Stacy, because Stacy was generous enough to make a nice little short video of how to actually back up your website. Then once that is done, I'm going to go into a bunch of steps on how to prepare your website for applying for Google AdSense. I think everybody will be super excited about that, because that is kind of one of our main goals here, is to get Google AdSense so we can actually start making this website a money machine. So I'm going to start off with the video here. I'm going to share my screen, and man, hopefully the sound works.
You have to hit the box for share sound.
Yeah, share sound. And I think I just, yeah, there it is. Okay. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the video.
Good morning, everyone. Today is February 9th, and I'm going to show you guys how to back up your own pages, protect your business, and, should anything happen, you're going to be ready for it. So what I'm doing is, let me go back out to my dashboard. So you're going to come here and you're going to, when you first log in, you get the dashboard, right? What we're going to do is I'm going to start with my posts. I've actually started laying it out. And so I'm just going to click on posts. I've got my list of posts. Now I came here and I clicked up here on the Google Docs. And when you open it, you have a Google Drive. I want you guys to click on Google Drive. When you get to Google Drive, it offers you a new. So what I did is I created a new folder and I called it my site 4M81. I then, within this folder, I'm creating more new folders where you see that I've got affiliate disclosure page, a folder for my category pages, a folder for all things pages, and I have my home posts. I'm also going to create a new folder for each and every single one of my category pages. And each of my pages that are inside that category, I'm going to file inside that specific folder. So like all my stuff that goes under arts and entertainment, I'm going to put it in the arts and entertainment. Everything that goes under beauty and cosmetics is going to go into beauty and cosmetics. Cooking, food, and wine, same thing. Copy each of those individually. They're each going to get their own document and be inside of this folder. So I'm just, actually it's mine is, let's see here. My first one, I guess this would probably be easiest. I'll just go to my home page and I'm on my welcome to my life. We'll wait for Google AdSense to get over itself and see how it likes to take up space. All right, so my next one is going to be my 2021 hot Christmas items. So I have my new folder. I'm up to number 3. So this is going to be 04 2021 Christmas. I'm not going to put the whole title in there because I know what it is. And then I'm going to do new again and folder, go back here. My next one is beauty and skincare. Oh, click on that. Beauty and skincare. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to get all my folders created. And then what we're going to do is we're going to open up, like we'll do affiliate disclosure. I'm going to open up that folder and I'm going to create, this time it's going to be a document because I'm going to be putting the actual page in here. And I'm going to go back to my website and I'm going to click on the affiliate disclosure page. Click close. And I'm going to click on edit page. And now see what I did here is I turned it from visual editor where we can read all the words. What I want you guys to do is click on the three dots up by that letter Y and where your page should be green and green. There are three dots. Click on that and it opens up this menu. Then come here and click on code editor. And you want to do Control A to copy all, and it's just going to copy your title. And then Control C. I'm going to go back to this and I'm going to hit paste. I'm going to hit return a couple times. I'm going to go back to my actual page. Now I'm going to click on the body of the page. All I'm doing is just getting my cursor there. I'm not going to sit there and highlight it all. I'm going to do Control A, Control C, come back to this document and paste. It's in there. I forgot to do one thing. Copy that. I need to title my document. There, it did it. This is now ready to close because it says last edit was seconds ago, so I'm good. So I'm going to close that one. So now my affiliate disclosures is in there. If I open this up, there it is. So now to get back to my 4M81 where all my folders are, we don't want to keep closing this. When it comes there to the triangle, you got to watch your icons on your tabs, guys. It makes it life easier. Just click on what you named your main page. Mine is 4M81. All right, so now I've been working on my home posts and I'm going to show you, I've gotten 3 of my home posts in. I don't remember if that was a home post or not, so I'm just going to close it. I'm going to hit new document. I'm going to come back here. I didn't change anything here, so I'm just going to hit the white W and go back out, and I'm going to click on posts. All right, so I know I've got 3 in there, so that means my Thanksgiving thoughts and gratitudes. I'm going to Control A, Control C. If you're using a Mac computer, it would be Command A, Command C. And then I'm going to put the title there and I'm going to come down here and I'm just clicking once and I'm Control V. It's very quick to do when you're using the controls. Click on the body, Control A, Control C, come back here, hit return a couple times and hit Control V. That's all in there. I'm going to do another, I'm going too fast. I'm going to just reopen my page for 4M81 and go to my home posts. And I'm going to click new document. I'm going to go back to the W. And I'm going to hit edit. I'm going to click on the title and hit Control A, Control C, click on my document. Put it where it says untitled document, Control V, come down here into the document itself, hit Control V, hit enter twice, go back to the document, my page, Control A, Control C, Control V. Now, if it seems like I'm going fast, guys, it's that easy. So get busy. This is the new daily challenge. If you have access to your site, that it's not down in maintenance, start doing this, especially for the pages that you have modified. My pages are all modified. I need to do every single one. I have more than most of you. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth because I've got, I have 15 in here. And under pages, I'm over 300. So get busy, get on it, protect your business, own it. It's frustrating sometimes when we have to do this, but hey, this is what backup is for. This is the easiest way to keep it on your control. All right. So see you guys on the next call.
All right.
And when I say daily challenge, I do a daily challenge to my team.
Let me just repeat that for a second. I'm pretty sure that said she has over 300 pages. That's what she said. My mind was just blown. All right. Okay. So that is awesome. Thank you, Stacy, for putting that great presentation together. And now it will be on this training, so you can come back and watch that as many times as you need to until you understand it. All right. So now we're going to move on to the fun stuff. So I do want to point out something that like right off the bat that Stacy mentioned at the end of the training, and that was all of her pages are 100% modified. She didn't say all of her pages are 90% modified or 75% modified. She said 100% modified. So that is going to be my first little nugget of what you need to do to get Google AdSense. You need to modify your pages. All right. There cannot be, you cannot have plagiarism on your website, because Google will check. And if it comes back and it's plagiarized, then you're going to have a problem. You're not going to get Google AdSense. So, all right. So now I'm going to admit something. I did know some of this. And the reason I knew it is because Sheila Matchett is an amazing instructor and MSI. And I did call her today and just made sure that I had all the right notes that I wanted to say today. So she did help me out, and I thank her very much. I think she's on here. But here we go. All right. So the first thing I have to say is, do you use plagiarism checker? Question mark. So if you use plagiarism checker, you are not ready for Google AdSense. That is the reason I say that is because, again, you should be modifying 100% of your pages, not 75%, but 100%. So if you modify 100% of your page, you don't need to go and check to see if it's plagiarized, because you modified it. I said you and I pointed at me, but that's really you. All right. So with that being said, if you like something, if you're reading through a page and you like a sentence or you like a quote, you can use that. There's a couple things to that. Either modify it to make it into your own words of what it says, or if you are going to use it, you need to move it. Do not keep it in the exact spot that it's in. You want to move it up or down, or put it on a whole new page. Put it somewhere else. You could even take that page that you're modifying, copy it into a new page, so you can put your own wording in and then put it somewhere on that page if you want to do that. But do not keep it the same wording in the exact same spot. All right, move it up to another paragraph, move it somewhere else, but do not leave it in the same location. All right. So now the second thing, and I know I've heard this in some trainings, and I actually learned this today because I did not know this, but in the SEO, over on the right in Yoast, you'll see like a red or orange dot, and it'll say something about you are linking this page to your key phrase. What that means is that I'm going to use fine wines as an example. Let's say my fine wines page, my keyword is fine wines. If I put a link on fine wines anywhere on my page, that is linking fine wines to Wine Ambassador, basically. And you are going to be losing your SEO for that. You are going to be losing traffic, because you're going to be linking it to Wine Ambassador. All right. So you do not want, if your keyword is fine wines, you do not want your link to be on fine wines. Now, if you have a link that's a sentence, so let's say, get your fine wines from Napa and Sonoma Valley delivered straight to your door, and you do that whole sentence as a link, that is okay. But you do not want to do just the word. All right. So I hope everybody understands that. If you don't, write down your questions, and at the end, I'll try to answer questions. The next thing is pictures. All right. So I'm gonna go into talking about how many words you have on your page and pictures. So pictures, you want to have, if you have more than 200 words, you want to have a picture. All right. So if you have 1,000 words on your page, you're going to have 5 pictures on that page, somewhere around there. So every 150 to 200 words, you want to place a picture. Now the pictures, you don't want them in the center. You want to put them on the right or the left. All right. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to get with your instructor and they can teach you, or, get on there and play around with modifying your page. That's kind of one of the basic things, but you want your pictures to be either on the right of the paragraph or the left of the paragraph. Do not put them in the center because Google uses the center for ads. So if you go to some of us that have Google AdSense, you go to our website, you'll notice that there are big ads right in the center. All right. So you want to place those pictures on the right and the left. The other thing you want to do is you don't want to have huge pictures that are taking up the whole screen. You want to have little pictures, big enough for them to see it, but small enough for it to not overtake the whole page. All right. That is, and then also on pictures, you want to make sure that they have your key phrase on them, and that goes in the all attributes. All right. So that's pictures. The next thing I'm going to talk about a little bit more, going into words. So a lot of people think that if they have 350 words on their page, that's enough, and then they move on. Now, if you have a whole website, let's say Stacy has 300 pages and she's got 300 pages of 350 words, Google doesn't like that. That's not enough content. We actually have a website that is a content website. That is what we are. We are content creators, right? We make content. Google doesn't want to see 350 words. They want to see 500, 750, 1,000. I was talking to Sheila today, and she said she doesn't think, I think she said she doesn't think she has one page on her website that has under 1,000 words. So just imagine how much she's writing. And I guarantee you she's got about 1.3 million pages. So just think about that for a second. All right. So you want to have 500 words or more. And now, with that being said, that doesn't mean you can't have a page with 350 words. You just don't want to have a bunch of them. Try to put content in there. And the best content is always your content, not something you've copied from Rory or you've reworded from Rory. If you've been in Bella Vita for a year and you're seeing progress, you're seeing things happen, you're taking brain, and you're waking up in the morning taking brain, and you're like, wow, my head is off, like I'm feeling great, I'm energized, I'm motivated. Put that on a page. Put your experience, or put your family's, your kids' experience, or your neighbor's experience. Put something besides what is on the page already. All right. People like to read, personal experiences. So, yeah. All right. So I've talked enough about the how many.
You're muted, Sean.
All right. I'm back. That was a good break. Okay. So where did I mute at?
Oh, it was real quick.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. So I hope I say this correctly, but every paragraph should have a link. Now, if you have just a small paragraph with like one sentence, that doesn't necessarily need to have a link. But if you got a pretty good sized paragraph, or you have a couple paragraphs that are all about the same subject, put a link in there. Your first paragraph should always have a link going to whatever you're offering. All right. An outgoing link. All right. Don't put an internal link on there. Put an outgoing link. There's quite a few reasons for that, but what that has to do with is, let's say you're posting ads. You should be posting ads on most of, if not all of your pages, and the relevant ones, I should say. And if you're doing a good ad, and let's say I am looking at your ad and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. How do I get this product, or how do I get to this information? I click on the link, I go to your website, and the first paragraph, it has a link. Boom, I'm hitting that link. All right. If the first paragraph doesn't have a link, and maybe the first several don't have a link, I'm going to start reading, and then I'm going to be like, oh man, I'm bored. I'm moving on. Next subject. Right. So put a link there so they can get to, straight to the point, what they came to your website for. All right. Okay. Hopefully I said that right. Sheila will correct me if I didn't explain that properly. All right. The next thing I'm going to talk about is category pages. All right. So category pages. Number one, your category pages should all have a drop down, minus your affiliate page. What is that called? The affiliate documentation or whatever.
Oh, the disclosures.
Disclosures. Yeah. Affiliate disclosures doesn't need to have a drop down, but all of your category pages should have a drop down. All right. Mainly that is for how your website looks, right? You don't want random stuff in there. So every category drop down page. The next thing about that, from your category page, if you click on a category page, you can have as many things on that category page as you want. But on the drop down for your category pages, maximum 3. All right. You do not want more than 3. Okay. Now, those 3 should be changing with the seasons. All right. So whatever is relevant at the time, that is what you want. All right. So let's go with health and fitness. All right. So you should always have a brain. Brain is always relevant. Also, right now, lean, weight loss. We're at winter time. We just came from Christmas and Thanksgiving time, and people want to shed those pounds, right? So weight loss is always a good one. But I kind of feel like Bella Vita is always good stuff. That's good supplements right there. So maybe you want to have those 3, but you don't want to have more than 3. So the other things that you don't want to have, Christmas is past. So make sure one of your drop downs is not a Christmas item, all right, or a holiday item. Now we're coming up on Valentine's. If you got Valentine's pages, Valentine's is only 4 days away. So you should still have a Valentine's page on there as a drop down. But when Valentine's Day is past, boom, change it out to the next thing, Easter, or if you have a St. Patty's Day one or something, but change it out to the next season. All right. So that's what I wanted to say about pages, offer pages. Okay. So I also have something to say about Rory added back in, I want to say maybe August, somewhere around there. Maybe it was a little bit before that. All things pages. So what those all things pages are for is a cell phone. So when somebody's on your site on their cell phone, they can click on the all things and then whatever category page, and they can actually go and see what the category page looks like. Well, if you have those all things pages, you need to modify them. Google will see those and you'll have plagiarized, even though it's plagiarized to your page, it's still plagiarized. And guess what? If I didn't modify them and Stacy didn't modify them and Paula didn't modify them, and I'm just pointing out people that's on my screen right now, guess what? They all have those all things too. So there's going to be thousands of all things pages that are plagiarized out there. So you need to modify those too. And I know that's a lot, but do it. It's worth it. Definitely worth it. Google AdSense. Remember, that's our finish line. Okay. Well, you see that? I had to switch pages. All right. So next, oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm actually still on the same subject, but our website works in a 90-day period. Everything is in a 90-day period. We pay our, our website hosting fee 90 days. We do our goals every 90 days, right? So our website works in a 90-day period. Look 90 days in the future. What are the next holidays coming in the 90 days, right? So right now we have Valentine's. We have, if St. Patty's Day, maybe if you celebrate that. And then we have Easter. And maybe we got a birthday or something in there, who knows? But look 90 days into the future. All right. That will help you figure out what pages you want on those offer pages that you want on those category pages. Now, that being said, don't draft your pages that you're not putting on there. Just float them. All right. All you got to do is float them. They're still going to be on your category pages. People can still go to them, still post ads on them, but they're going to be floating pages. All right. Awesome. Okay. Now, changing the name to your website. There's a lot of people out there that are keeping the name pretty much the same. What is it? What's the original name? It's
Incredible Online Finds, latest
yes.
online finds.
Okay. Incredible Online Finds. Sean's Incredible Online Finds is not okay to do. And not because you're using my name, but because it's the same thing. You want something that matches you, that is exciting, that brings people in. When you go out and give your website to somebody else, or you give it to somebody and you say, hey, go online and search Incredible Online Finds. Guess how many websites they are going to find that say Incredible Online Finds? Again, thousands, right? Thousands. So you want to make sure that your website name is unique, exciting, fun. I'm gonna be honest. My first time I renamed my website, and I said first time, I'll tell you how many I've changed it to. First time, it was something like Sean's Online Finds. Woo! All right. Okay. So then I changed it to, and this is going to come into another point that I'm going to make. I changed it to Wine with Friends and More. Okay. And I thought, I'm passionate about wine. I have a Facebook page that's Wine with Friends, and the and more is all the other stuff that we have in our mall, right? Then guess who I talked to? Yep, that wonderful lady, Sheila. And she said, Sean, your website says wine with friends. So you're only going to get people, number one, that want to look at wine, and maybe friends. So that I just narrowed my path down. And Google doesn't really like to promote alcohol and me selling alcohol and stuff like that. Well, I'm not going to call Google and be like, well, I don't actually sell alcohol. I promote a wine club. They don't care. They're going to look at that. So figure out that cool name, right? I have changed my name of my website 4 times. All right. Now it is Flaming Hot Deals and More. What do we think about that? Yeah, I like it.
You could have done Flamingo Hot Deals, just put an O at the end of your name.
Yeah, she's trying to make fun of my last name, but I think Flaming's awesome. All right. Actually, when I type it in the phone, getting off track here, type it in the phone, it comes up Flamingo. Oh, anyways, all right. Okay. And then keep your website basic. There are some people that want to make it super colorful and really crazy looking. Just keep it basic. You don't need to, maybe 10 years down the road when you're making thousands of dollars on your website and you can do whatever you want with your website, but for now you're trying to get Google AdSense, keep it basic, stick to the basics, right? I don't remember why she told me this, but I should remember titles that can be age discriminatory. Oh yeah. So, okay. So any of your page titles, you want to be careful on what you title them, because that's another thing Google does. You don't want to have something on there where Google's going to say, you know what, this is a 21 and older website. You don't want kids going to this. You don't want somebody looking at this that isn't of age, right? So be careful of the titles that you use for your pages, and definitely be careful of the title you use for your website itself. All right. Okay. Next, I'm going to put down here. How am I doing on time here? Oh, I'm doing great. All right.
You're doing good. Yep.
Okay, so I am going to put in the chat. I'm going to put in the chat, hopefully something that will help help people out here. Okay. What just happened?
It's all good. Hold on asking questions, guys. Some of you are real quick to jump in and ask questions right away. Think first, go back to your instructor on a lot of this.
Copy.
I'm going to tell you right
Paste.
now, we're not going to do a long call or long. Oh, your broken link
No.
check. There you go.
Yes. Okay. So I just put in there. If you do not have this, click on it and then push that little star and save it in your tools folder, right? So this is a great tool. So before you apply for Google AdSense, you want to check this. You don't, if you just started modifying your pages, don't go and use this, because I'm going to tell you right now, you got a ton of them. All right. So this is going to be one of those last things right when you're ready to do Google AdSense. You know what? I'm going to check real quick and make sure all my links are good. Do you know what I did? I spent a week and I went through, before I even used that checker, I went through every single page, clicked on every single link, and made sure all of them worked. All right. If they didn't, I fixed them. I think I even added some links in there. But you want to use this because it's a great tool. Man, it's a super great tool. It will help you find all your broken links. Now, with that being said, if you have a page that is a broken link, or you have a page that has broken links on it and you don't know what to do with them, like let's say, oh man, we used to use brunette marketing, right? And we had a bunch of links with that. Well, we got rid of that, and I had a bunch of pages that I didn't have any affiliate links to, but they had, these pages were relevant, but they had all these broken links. What you can do with those, don't draft them, because they have a rating with SEO already. So don't draft them, modify them to good information, maybe that is relevant to you, maybe that, you know, is relevant to, I don't know, a certain somebody out there, and then put one internal link. You can even put one external link on there, or outbound link, right? And then keep it, make it a floating page and keep it. It doesn't necessarily have to have a bunch of links on it that go to an offer. All right. Keep that page, because I guarantee you, Rory is going to come out with something that has to do with that page. He does it all the time. He will come out with something. So keep that page. All right. So
Well, the other reason is it's also, guys, it's good. Sheila's taught this. So has Linda. And I think Niall has too. It's actually good to just recycle a page. That's something similar instead of trashing it.
Yes. Thank you, Stacy. Yeah, that is a great point.
You know,
just recycle it, make it into something, you know, new. Yeah.
Well, like we're changing over like one anchor of health and wellness to Vela Vita. One of our keywords was coffee. Guys, you can still use that coffee keyword, because the plus adder, you know, the plus thermo is a beverage adder that goes into coffee and more. Okay. So just have fun and get creative with it. Don't lose your SEO.
All right. Yeah. So I put in the link. I also put Sheila's website if you want to see it, because she's been helping me out a lot. And all this information really, I mean, it comes from her. You know, all of her students are getting Google AdSense, and it's because they just follow exactly what, you know, what she teaches them. So yes. Okay. So the next thing I have to say is advertise. I actually was taught at the beginning to modify my whole website and then start advertising. That is not right. Okay. So remember, utilize YouTube, go to Rory, Stacy, Sheila, they all have, everybody's got videos on how to do ads. All right. Go watch a training on how to post ads. When you modify a page, hopefully, you know, you have two monitors. Two monitors is amazing. Let me tell you right now, but modify your page, prepare an ad. All right. This is your business. Everything is quicker in a straight line, right? So do it as quickly, like save time, right? By posting ads. You want to bring traffic to your site. That is Google AdSense, right? We want to get traffic to your site because the minute you finish modifying that last page, you're going to get weight off your shoulders. You're going to apply for Google AdSense. You're going to get accepted the first time because you've been posting ads since you started modifying. All right. So post ads, modify your fine wines page, post ads. Even if you post one ad a day on fine wines because you're posting ads on your Bella Vita next because you're modifying that page, that's fine. Now, I was going to say something about that. If you have posted ads on pages that are not relevant anymore, that's okay. Keep that page. Do not draft it. Keep that page because people will go to your website anyways. And yeah, that might not be a relevant page. You might not have a great information, but they're going to look over on the left to all your categories and see something that does interest them. So even if you posted ads, make sure to keep that broken link, keep that and get people to go to your website. All right, advertising. The other thing that she told me, and I did not know this, but advertise on social media. A lot of people are not, I am not handy with social media. I'm very bad. Matter of fact, a lot of times people post something and I call them and I'm like, hey, can I use your post to copy it? Because I'm just not good at it, you know? Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about me not being good at posting ads on social media. But
on social media, Sean, you don't have to make it an ad. You're sharing.
No, true. Yeah, true. Share your story, share your experience. You know, it doesn't have to be an ad. You are correct. Yeah, wonderful. I love that. Okay, but I'm trying not to be boring here. So, but here's the thing. Social media is not just Instagram, Facebook. That's actually the only two I know. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. She told me a whole bunch more. Craigslist, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. You can post ads on. You can join groups in these. Facebook's got Facebook groups. She told me she's a member of a Facebook group, like a recipe place. So she goes on there and she'll talk about this recipe somebody cooked on Wine and Dine. And then guess what? She forgets to post the recipe. And then they're like, oh, well, where's this recipe at? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. Here's my website. Go to my website and check out the recipe, you know? So you can bring in social media. I actually want her to come on and say I really did. I was trying to write as much stuff down as I could. And she was like, oh, there's this. Like, I couldn't keep up, honestly.
You got a couple more weeks.
Never. Yeah, right. Never send the direct link. All right. Always send them to your page. Okay. Have them go to your page. And yeah, send them to the website and then they can go from there. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is you have to get response magic on your website. All right. Now, I admitted this to her and I'll admit it to you. I am the last person to teach on response magic. I am not very good at it, but guess what? She said she'd help me. So I'm going to get good at response magic. So maybe my last training, I can do that. We'll see. But Google wants to see that you have a lead generator on your website that people can reach out to you. They can email you. They can maybe call you. They subscribe to your emails that you send out. So Google AdSense wants to see that. All right. And then the last thing is, if you're hesitating, just apply for Google AdSense, right? If you've gone through your whole website, you are ready, apply. The worst thing that will happen is they will tell you you don't qualify, and then you just got to fix something on your website and apply again. All right. So that is what I have. And the time is 18:43 on my watch. So, but yeah,
1843, but it's 8:43 on my watch.
sorry. No, it's 6:43 on my watch. 18:43. Oh yeah, 8:43. Got it. Yeah.
You're both
Central
off. It's
Time.
9:43.
Negative,
Wait.
Ghost Rider.
Well, verified he hasn't taken a nap.
All right. So I have two hands up. Should I do like 7 minutes of, I mean, do we want to go to the end of the hour? Like, how do we want to do this?
It's your show.
Right. Tressa,
None
you,
like-
Yes, sir.
how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. So now I'm confused because some of my pages has more than 3 items on it, and you're saying not more than 3 items to qualify for Google. So we have all of these products that in some categories it's more than 3 items. So we're
I
supposed to
I
decipher.
can help with that, Sean.
You
Okay.
know.
Actually, Rory taught me 5 or 6 would be the max. 3 probably looks better. It looks a little neater. But I don't think it's having 4 or 5 is not going to affect Google AdSense. That's what Rory taught me. And if you look at Home with Tanya and Rory 3, there's more than 4. There's 4 or 5 in several of the categories.
So
but in
I
the
will say
beginning,
this though, is once you get Google AdSense, you can start putting more.
no, then you can put as many as you want. But even in the beginning, when I was modifying my original site, the first run, Rory told me you never want, one page doesn't need its own category to have that pop out like that. And five, he goes, maybe 6 at the most, but 5, I think was the magic number, is as high as you want to go. So between 3 and 5 would be an ideal way to say that. Between 3 and 5 should be perfect. Don't force yourself to put 5, but as long as you got 3, you're okay.
Now, one
Okay,
thing,
at
that's
least
make sure,
3.
that's
no
the way
more
he
than
taught me.
5.
now
At
just
least
Yeah,
make
no.
sure, Tressa, you're talking about on the menu, not your category page itself.
Well, both
correct?
of well,
No,
I don't.
your
I'm
category page.
confused.
Okay, what Sean
that's
said
different.
was for, yep, Sean and Niall are talking about what appears on your menu,
When you hover your cursor
Okay.
over the
The
category
drop-down.
page,
the
The
drop
drop-down
downs.
menu.
Yep,
what pops
yep,
up?
Okay.
yep. The
That
category
at least.
pages,
Okay.
anything that could be in that category should be on the category page. That is your shopping mall directory.
Okay. Gotcha.
You're telling those people when they click on either the all things page, if they're looking on it by mobile, or if they're clicking on the category page itself, that's your shopping
Yeah.
shopping mall directory. And you want to give them all little good snippets, what they're going to find, and give them the little nuggets to keep looking at.
And not
your
everybody
page.
clicks on the category page, Tress, so they might just hover over it, like I was just
Right.
talking about. So what pops up, or the drop down, whatever you call it, I call it the pop up. What
Uh-huh.
pops up are the pages actually in the menu,
Right.
and that could be different than what's on the category page. You could have them all on the category page, say 10 of them there, but only 3 to 5 of them in the actual menu that pop up. And those are the ones that pop up should be the ones you want to focus on the most, your key, your most relevant stuff, right? And
Right.
another reason why you don't want to go over 4 or 5 per category, you have to remember you have a maximum of 90 pages that you can have in that menu, right?
Right.
So save space and just, try to have like 3 in each one. And if there's some other stuff you want to feature, add 1 or 2. You can go up to 5. I mean,
Okay.
if you take the original menu and they all had 3 in it, you want to write 5 to 10 pages of your own to have absolute unique content and unique pages on your site. You're going to have, and you want to feature them, well, then you can have them pop up in the menu. But
Yeah.
anything over 5, Rory said, is
That's too much.
cluttered is the word he
Yeah,
used.
Yeah.
clutter.
Niall,
Right.
when we started, we
So-
didn't have the all things pages on our site. So that's
Yeah,
why
and
we
that
could do
kinda
5.
counts.
And I think that's where Sheila's coming from. I'm watching Sheila's facial
Okay,
expressions.
so for
Yeah.
just I just want to get for clarification. So you're saying at least 3, no more than 5.
Right.
Okay, I just have one more question. Is like you're talking about floating pages. Is that when you like you're putting in these things, but you have extra things that you want, but those pages are just out there without being linked to anything? Is that what you mean by floating
Yeah,
page?
no, they'll still be linked to something. So a floating page. So you have your category menu, right? And you have your
Right.
drop down that comes out, and you have the
Uh-huh.
3 to 5 pages that we're talking about, right?
Right.
Your category page can have 20 different items that go to different pages, right?
Right.
But
So
you don't want the category, the drop down to have 20 different items. So your category page will have 20 different items on it, right? But you'll only have 3 that actually come out.
On the drop
So
down list.
Tessa, if you create a page and you publish that page, but you don't officially stick it in the menu so it pops up, that's called a floating page. It's not stuck there in the menu, but it is published. So it's getting out there and getting the SEO and everything Sean talked about. And you can
Okay.
actually run an ad to that page.
Yeah, because like on my category page, I don't know what happened, but at the very bottom it has menu on it, and I don't even know why.
Okay, so you actually need to get with your instructor and
Okay.
have them teach you or give you a video on how to
Fix that.
actually fix your menu.
Okay.
That's what you need to do.
I
All right?
don't even know where that came from, so but it's there. All right
Yeah,
then,
no
but
worries.
that's all I have. Thank you very much. Oh, one more is how are people doing modifying their PBSs in just days? I don't get it. Because we have a whole since I've started,
Yeah,
pages
yeah,
have been
I'm gonna-
adding.
Some
I got
people type
other-
faster than I do.
Yeah, I got other people with questions. So get with your instructor on that. People work differently. So
Yeah.
that's all.
And my goal, Sean, I remember, was to get at least 3 pages a day done. And there's people doing, 8 to 9, 10 pages a day because they have the time. And, maybe they're on vacation for a week. You do 10 pages a day for a week, your site's done.
Yeah, I modified my website in 3 weeks with the help of my wife.
Right. Yeah,
There you
because
go. Denise, you should be able to unmute. There you
There
go.
you go.
The question I have is when you do your pages, the alternate images, where is that and what do there?
alt
What-
images.
So yeah,
Denise,
so alt image.
Denise, I'll get with you on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in settings, by the way. But yeah, she'll get with you on that. Oh, awesome. Thank you,
Thanks.
Kathy.
Hi, everybody. And Sean, first, before I ask my question, I just want to say thank you so very much for this presentation. I was frantically writing. I've got like 2 pages of notes.
Oh, awesome.
I
That's
hope
great.
it makes sense later. I don't take very good notes. But my question is an easy one. Is there a limit to the number of times that you can apply for AdSense before they just say, you just can't do this?
I'm gonna say yes because Sheila's going like this, but I have no clue. Yeah, go ahead, Sheila.
There's not an actual limit, but they do frown upon it if they come back and deny you and you come back 2 weeks later and say, oh, I've fixed everything you've done. I'm ready to go again. You always
Ah.
want to give it at least 30 to 60 days, 90 days max. We work on a 90-day cycle because they want to see you not only change the stuff that they say you need to fix, but also give yourself advertising, get more relevant content in there. If it says it's not relevant, build up more pages, build up your clientele that's coming to your site. So if you've gotten denied and you come back 2 weeks later and try again, they're going to deny you again. They want you to have that time to put in there, to put forth the effort to see that you're doing it. If you do it too many times repetitiously, then you're going to be kind of black flag. You're going to be sitting there and it might take a while for them to look at you. And they're going to say, well, they haven't done enough relevance, haven't had it, or they'll come back and say, well, this looks like the same thing. They just added a few more pages. You know, when they tell you to do that, then you want to make sure that you are literally going through all your pages and modifying it. If it says you're not relevant, then either you're repeating somebody else too many times, you're referencing somebody else that's not you, or you don't have enough content that they're saying you know enough about what you're talking about.
No
So,
additional value. That's that word they
Yes.
use, Sheila. Yeah.
yes. So if you're constantly quoting Rory all the time or constantly quoting Dr. Saberi, they don't like that. They want to hear your story. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to see how this product reflects to you. And don't preach to people. They don't like that. They don't want your site to be you telling, well, you need to do this and this, that you need. No, they want you to say, this is my story. This is how I handled it. You know, don't preach to people. Don't be preachy. That's not relevant to Google. That's very dominating. They don't want that.
So I've tried to say that in a lot of different ways over the years. And the last 5 students that I've had that got Google AdSense, I said, imagine there's a 5th grader standing in front of you. You've got the information on your screen and that 5th grader's going, what does that mean? And then you explain it all to him and tell him a story.
Exactly.
That's how you should write. Like you're explaining it to a 5th grader. And all the different ways I've said that throughout the years was okay. I guess it was 50-50 whether they really understood it. But when I start saying write as if you're talking to a 5th grader and just start talking with your fingers on that page like you're talking, having a conversation, telling a story, what you know, what you've learned, what you've discovered, and what the answer to it is. And then those last 5 people got Google AdSense pretty quick.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy.
everybody, for your input.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Tony, you are up.
Hi there. I was looking at something that Sheila Matchett put on the chat. She said, remember, you can only have 90 items on the category menu.
Yes.
Now, I was counting the category pages as one and doing like one category page, one all you can say page, and then 3 other pages. That would be 5. But you're saying you can only have 90 items on the category menu. Did you mean on your whole page?
No, on the whole menu. So the menu is that thing on the left-hand side, right? So it has home, then it has the
Affiliate
disclosures,
Yeah.
and then it has
But
all the categories.
But the category page itself, health and beauty, it may have 20 different things in it, but isn't it only counted as one?
One page, yeah. We're
Right.
talking about the menu, not the category page itself. All right. Okay.
Yeah, the
cool.
menu. All right.
Was she
Renee.
done? Okay, Renee, you should be able to.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I've been holding back my posts because I was correcting them. But unless I have my pages done, if I put a post out with that link on it, they're not going to find anything. So that I shouldn't do that. They should only
No.
put in the
Does,
post.
does a
the
shopping
posts are
mall
done.
shut down the shopping mall for one store being remodeled?
No,
Yeah,
no.
no.
Okay.
So I will.
I'd like to address that when
Like-
Sean's done. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. So, okay, so if you are modifying a page, do not
Mhm.
draft it to modify it. All right. You're going to modify the page. When you get your website, everybody's website comes published. Do not draft all your pages to modify them and then publish them again.
Put them back when you think you're done with them.
Keep them published. Modify 100% of it. When you get done modifying it, change the date, the published date to the day that you modified it, and then move on to the next page. But do not draft it because you're still working on it. Your posts, do not draft them because you're working on them. Keep them there. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I don't even think I can add to that. I was gonna address it in case something you didn't.
Yeah.
I've seen people pull all the pages out of their menu and draft them and then go work on them. And then when they thought they were done, then put them back. And it ended up being a monster headache and a cluster.
Just remember, guys, even though your pages aren't done, your website's live when you get it. You'll be surprised how many people will get generic traffic just because you're out there. Whether they're your links or not, you have a live working website that is searchable the minute you get it. So when you go to putting stuff in draft, you're doing yourself a disservice. Don't ever put anything in draft, modify it, put it in information pages if you don't have a link, but let your pages be searchable no matter what's on them.
Okay.
Be a half finished page, half it's modified, half it ain't, but leave it there.
All right. I have 2 minutes, so let's try to make this
Celestine, you are last.
Jesse's got his hand up too. I think she is, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see Jesse. There's a bright light right behind your little hand, Jesse.
I was told not to change the date on the page.
Oh, well, you were told wrong.
You were told wrong. You only change it from the day you modify it. The day you go in it and get your website and you modify that page, that's the date you change it. After that, you do not change it. The reason being is your website gets assigned a different bot every time you go in and change that date. So if you change that date one time, then Google has assigned it basically its own URL. So then when you come in and put another date, then Google gives it another assignment. So then it looks like you got the same page out there under two different assignments. So sometimes people will get, when they did plagiarism, the plagiarism checker, they will get their own site 2 different times. It's because you changed the date. Never change the date from your original date.
So Sheila, if they're halfway done with the page today and they got to come back 2 days later and finish the other half that page, it's when they finish it.
No, it's when they start it.
It's when they start modifying it?
When they start it, that's the day it starts.
Wow. Okay. Whoa.
Okay, when you start the date.
No, I'm talking about the publish date, when they publish it.
Publish page, the date you start. If you go look at your pages, there's a little dash mark at the top. That tells you the first time you touch that page. That's the day you started modifying. When you finish it, you're finished it. That's your finish date. You don't put your finish date. The day you touch that page is the day you put your time in there.
I'm just going to say, when I got Google AdSense a year ago, it was Sheila that told me to go back and look at when my first revision date was. And I changed it to every single one of them 200 and plus pages at that time. I went in and changed all my dates to the original date because I was doing it when I finished it. And Sheila's like, no, girl, gotta change it. And I did, and I got approved.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if it's going to be weeks in between starting and finishing, I'll just talk about the next day, right?
Okay, no, it's always the date you touch it. The date the very first day. It doesn't matter when you finish it, but the day you touch it is literally your live date. That's almost like you went and opened a store, had the doors open for a little bit and then closed it back down, but yet you're still saying I'm open, but you're not letting anybody in. So when you go in that page, sorry, wait a minute, my baby's gotta go to bed. Night night. So when you touch that page, the first time, change that date. You can always come back and finish it up. It doesn't matter when you finish it up, it's when you started it. That's what Google looks at. When did you first touch that page?
Cool. Thank you, Sheila.
You're
All
welcome.
right. I'm going to move on to Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, you didn't have to turn that light off, man. I couldn't see that little yellow hand in the yellow light.
Okay.
Okay, I have two questions. The first one, the corresponding things to the all things pages. Now, I was told as I was going through that we would just copy those and make them our all things page. And you said something about having to modify.
Yeah, Rory
Yes.
just covered this. It was either last week or the week before.
Yeah.
Every subject is a header 3. And there's a link at the top and a link at the bottom, which she calls a call to action. And all of the words in between is content, and that should be unique content. Other it's just a copy. He just covered out. Was that last week or a week before?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Okay,
If
I
you-
may have missed that. My
if you
second
have-
question
yeah,
is,
okay.
there are some pages that I went through and tried to modify, yet when I changed the title of the page, for some reason, it's still showing the original title, like the page online merchant accounts. I changed that to something else, but it's still showing. Matter of fact, the broken links came up showing that the web page was online merchant accounts, but I don't have that as my title anymore.
You have to go in and change your slugs, guys. When you go in, you need to get with your instructor on that. When you're modifying a page and you change your title, it's still published. So you have to literally go in and change your slug. Or the easiest thing to do is right before you change your title, switch it to draft, change your title, then publish it. It automatically changes your slug.
Okay.
So when you change the title, you got to change everything down inside. Sheila, there's also, it's been a long time. I'm trying to remember where I had to go into the menu and click in the menu on the category page and edit it there. Because every time I tried to work it on the page, it wouldn't do it. And I had to change it, having the menu up and actually edit inside on the menu page.
Quick get around that. Like I said, my website's my baby. I find every niche I can in it. So when you're coming to a page and you know immediately you're gonna change the title, switch that page to draft, it takes out your slug, takes out your key phrase, takes out everything. Put your title in, publish it, it changes your slug, then put in your key phrase, update, and then it changes anywhere you have it. If it's in your category menu, if it's in your drop down, it changes it right then because it went from draft to published. And then you can go in and change your date and then everything's set.
And if you start it, finish it the same day.
You should be able to finish a page in the same day. I can usually do a page 30 to 45 minutes beginning to end.
I was being funny because I know sometimes I said earlier if they started it and then didn't finish it till tomorrow.
Yeah, the big thing is don't ever change your date once you put it in there. That's a big no-no.
I know I said two, but I got one more real quick. What if you don't remember the day you started working a page? Because all the ones that I've done, I did it when I finished the page. That's when I changed the date.
Okay, at the bottom right-hand corner where you have your Yoast and SEO, you're going to see a little word that says revisions. If you click on that revisions, at the very top of the page, you're going to see little hashtag marks up there. Go to the very first hashtag mark. It's going to be when the page website was created. You want to go to the second one because that's when you touched it. If you just click on it, it's going to show you the date. You don't need to put in this revision because then it's going to put it back to what you got it when it was first given to you. You just want to click on that date, write down the date, then go to your published and change it to that date. And then hit update.
Boom, that's
always
just
check your revisions.
Yeah, wow.
That's
That,
what I
that, that
have
just
here.
happened.
So if we've got Google AdSense, should we go back and do that still?
No, if you got Google AdSense, you're good. Don't change anything. If you got Google AdSense, you're fine. Just keep going forward. If you don't have Google AdSense and you've never checked those dates, here's what's going to happen. Google AdSense is going to look at it and say, the first time you've touched this website was 2 years ago, but you got a page in your website that's 5 years old. Is your website a copy?
Yes.
That makes sense.
And then they're going to be, okay, let me go through this with the fine tooth comb. You will not get approved. So go through, look at that revision date, and it's going to be tedious to some of you. You need to put it that first date that you touched it and then hit update.
Oh gosh, Sheila, that sounds like work.
I know. I got 500 pages, guys. So
Uh,
I don't
No,
have
that's,
a million and a
wait,
half.
500, that's it?
That's
thought
See,
it.
this,
1.1
that
1.3
right
million, I
there,
thought it was.
that right there. And I tell people I'm exhausted sometimes by 9 o'clock, but that right there is why no matter how exhausted I am, I never miss a call. Because there's always at least one, there's lots of little nuggets along the way. There's always one big nugget that just makes a big difference in helping everybody get there. Thanks, Sheila.
You will.
Niall, Sean, I did bring up one of my pages to if you want me to quick show where the word revisions is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. While Stacy's doing that, Stacy, wait, whoa.
Yeah, you can't.
While Stacy's doing that,
Oh yeah, you can.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, I
On the
can.
side.
So
Yeah,
it's
go
right
ahead,
here. So I'm going to just click on this. And this is the little hashtags that Sheila was talking about. You can take this little slider.
Second one.
And no, it was the very first,
No,
because
it's the second one.
this is an original one.
If it's an original. And don't click restore this option. Don't click that restore because it will take it back to the date that you clicked. So all you want to do is just find that date that's up there. And that's the date you want to put. And then all you got to do is go to the left and hit go back to site. It takes you back to the page you're working on. And then you just hit your date and change your date.
And then I'm just going to go back to go to editor. But because I created this page, so I knew I didn't need to change the date. But when I came up with the title, I did it Rory's way. I clicked publish right away and there was nothing else on my page.
Yep.
Nice. All right, Stacy, you had
Where do you put that? Where do you put the date?
Oh, yeah, right above that. Right there.
Right here, when you click on it, this is a calendar. If you've got to go back a year or so, change the year first, then change the month, and then the calendar for that year will, when you click on the day, the calendar will change to the correct thing and you can just pick the day from here.
Thank you.
And then you do need to hit update. There's no save button to get rid of it. All I did was I clicked over here to close that menu or the calendar, and then you have to hit update.
Okay, I got a good question here, Sheila. New people getting started, would it be good for them? Because it's going to have an old date, right?
Yep. So the minute they start, they should, as soon as they change their title, they should change their date.
Should they change their date or should they just hit the draft button, start working and publish? What do you think would be
the first thing they should do is if they're changing the title, hit draft, go in it, hit draft, change their title so it wipes out their slug.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
So
go
most
ahead.
people are changing the titles. So wouldn't it be a good practice maybe to start teaching?
Yep. Hit that draft button. Yep.
Pull it inside to work on it.
Yep.
Hit draft, do the change, and then publish, and then
Because
do all your.
you don't want to mess with your slug, guys, because that is your URL for your page. If you mess that up, it kind of messes your whole page up. You'll be like, well, where's that page I created? And it's because you changed your slug to something weird. And if you're copying a page, and I found out this the hard way, if you copy a page from somebody else's site without putting your title in first, it's going to give you a computer generated title, which is going to have a bunch of words and letters and stuff like that. And it's going to be in your slug. And sometimes if you don't catch it, you'll publish it with that weird thing in there. So if you copying a page and you already have a title, put your title first, then copy your page over, because then your slug will match whatever your title is.
That's a nice little shortcut. Thanks.
All right,
There's another nugget.
Stacy Wren, what do you got?
To know if there's an update on the websites that aren't running right now with the virus. I've been down for over 10 days. So
You have?
yeah.
Did your instructors did you get with your instructor and tell them so they could
We came back
send it to
up
tech?
briefly, and now I'm back down again. So I'm just waiting in the water.
Stacy, you checking the board? I see somebody checking.
That actually happened with one of my students. He got his site fixed, and then a day later it went back down again. So
We need to know.
There's some moved over to a different issue that they need to talk to Rory on. Let's see where she's at.
That's what I was looking right now. Let's
Yours was sent, how many days ago was it sent to tech for the first time?
Did you send it back to tech when it went down again?
I've just been telling my instructor, that's all.
Let me look and see if you're on here. Because if it's not on here, he doesn't know to fix it.
It's on there.
Is it?
Stacey,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm still scrolling.
Is it in the PBS issues, Matt Reed?
Yeah.
Okay.
What number is she in the queue?
That's
About
is a
halfway
great
down. But
question,
here's the
yeah.
thing, I'm not gonna mess with the queue because there's been so many people that have been back and forth.
No,
back
no.
and- But
I'm just gonna let her know where she's at in the queue.
Okay, so
she's about halfway through.
All you gotta do is open the card, hit move, it'll tell you what the number, and then you can close it and not move it.
45.
And there's like 150 in there, so you're moving up. I don't know when it was sent. But you're moving up. There's 150 in there now.
Yesterday.
All
So
right.
it was just sent yesterday.
Did you have any other questions, Stacy?
No, thank you.
Okay. Paul.
I think it got answered earlier, but thank you. It was about the, well, it was answered earlier. I wrote
Okay,
the notes
yeah.
down.
No worries. No worries. Thank you. Michelle, this will be the last question. Everybody, I'm late. I'm late. 1914. All right.
Since I had my website reset, does that change my date from the original time I actually started?
No, if you had it reset, it all goes back to Roy's original published date.
Okay.
So you'll have to change all your dates when you start modifying, you're gonna have to change the date to the date that you started modifying it, because everything was reset to the original date, which is the day Rory implemented the program.
That is a great question.
And
Thank
you
very much.
set the date to the day you start working on it, not the day you finish it, in case it's not the same day.
Oh man, that's such good stuff. I love it. I'm so excited. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Michelle. Thank you. I have one more thing to say. So I took a while to get Google AdSense. I think it took me about a year and a half-ish, somewhere around there. I'm going to tell everybody here, if you do not make the live events, you're missing out. So I went to a live event in Florida, and I actually got to meet the lovely Sheila and sit down with her with my computer. And she literally went through my website and told me how crazy it looked and how terrible. No, she didn't really say that. No, she was like, oh, this is great, but you can do this. Again, I'm over here like, slow down, talking, please, slow. So, what'd you say last weekend? So I got to actually sit down one-on-one with her, and she explained everything. And then guess what? I went home. I think I took about a week, and I went through I'm not going to lie, I didn't make any one-on-one calls, nothing like that. I worked on my website from the time I got off work until the time my wife was like, get off your computer. And then I applied for Google AdSense and I got it. I think I applied for Google AdSense 3 times, and the 4th time I got it. All
Well,
right.
how much time was there between 3 and 4?
honestly, there was probably quite a bit of time because I don't remember exactly, but there was probably quite a bit of time because I didn't know exactly what I was doing. But man, I got to sit down, do that, and it helped out a ton. So if you can make these events, and now
Well,
that-
remember what Sean's saying right now is you become instructors and you have students that are going to apply for Google AdSense. Before I tell them it's okay to apply for Google AdSense, I do a site review and I sit down with each one of them, and we're there for at least 2 hours sometimes. I mean, somewhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours. I have to schedule that because it could be more than 2 hours, right? By the time you're done going through everything. And I don't. I'm a lot like Rory. I don't like using the checkers because the checkers can, it's software. It can fault. If you did it right and you follow directions and you touch it, and you should be fine. I've used the checkers last year, and it was saying there was some bad links. We went through it for days and couldn't find a bad link, but applied anyway. I said, well, we just can't find it. The checker might be wrong. And then I had a checker where the checker said there are no broken links. And I said, well, let me go do a review. Let's just do our review anyway. And we went through and found like 5, 6, 7, 8 bad links, even though the checker said none. So it's it was too undependable for me. If you do it the right way, what's that? Do it right way the first time. You only do it once, Sheila. What Grandpa say? You only do it once if you do it right the first time.
Do it right the first time. You only have to do it one time.
Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah, or schedule that review time.
Yeah, and don't waste your instructors' times. Don't waste your MSI's times. If you only modified 50% of the page, don't call them and be like, oh, well, you checked my website. Do it right the first time, and then get with them because they're, they got a lot of students. Their time is valuable also, including your time. Your time is valuable also. So
you can ask any of my students this. If they ask me, hey, can you take a look at my page to see if I've done enough? I say, no, you didn't. Ask Dina, ask Karina, all of them. No, you didn't. Well, how could you possibly answer that so quickly? Because if you modified 100% of the content, you wouldn't have asked me that question.
Yeah.
We should have stopped recording and had that as its own recording.
Yeah. And that's the key, guys. If you're asking yourself or asking your instructor, is this enough? It's not enough. You're not ready. You'll know when it's enough because you'll be proud of it.
We should probably take that out of the recording because now we can't catch them anymore that way. Or at least we're not going to be able to catch these 169 people. God, no.
So I'm gonna stop the recording. Here we go. Pressing stop. Are you sure you want to? Yes, I want to stop it.